Hey guys, welcome back. I'm FilthyRobot. We're continuing our D&D campaign. This is session 1, part 4. Part 3, we just fought a camp of enemies, rescued a human child, and Gal drew pictures. So, here we are.
Okay. So you guys head back to the wagon and the horses. Seems to be unchanged. Nothing particular seems to have upset them. They've just been eating the grass. And you can set out on your way if you like.
Yeah, that'd be good.
To Witherding.
I'm going to spend a little bit extra time, less walking and chat with Aust and a little bit more, kind of pulling ahead, like looking around. I'm just going to be a little bit more vigilant than I would be otherwise. I'm a bit spooked after the last encounter.
Okay, cool. So just so you guys know, that is the kind of thing that would change noticing something from a passive perception check to an active perception check. Okay. But cool, good to know. What the hell's that? Okay. So you guys head back out onto the road, and it does start to go downhill somewhat, and the tree somewhat thin as well. You could see some of the mountains actually like encroaching towards the road. Appears to be another pass of some kind. As it starts to become a decline as you're heading downwards, but it's not so much that the wagon is racing ahead or anything. The horses have control of it just fine. Just past afternoon, you guys are walking for about 4-ish hours.
Just to be clear, I did want to let Charlie ride in the back of it. I think we could clear a little bit of space for him to ride. Is that all right?
Yep.
Okay,
that's fine. All right. So just take about 5 or so hours, and then you're presented with a crossroads, left, right, and straight forward.
Is it? I mean, we listened to the talk from Gundren and Silden about the route. What did they say about this crossroads, or did it not come up?
Okay, Sildar.
Sildar.
He mentioned that the route would be just to continue heading south, across the most obviously roaded part. And as you look at it, you can clearly see that the road that's just going straight on from the crossroads is the most trafficked road.
And that's also the way that we.
And it's the widest as well. Yeah.
Okay. There are markings. Where does east-west go if south is?
There are no there's no signposts or anything like that. But I mean, one heads east, or one heads to your left and one heads to your right. It's not east-west; it's sort of northeast and southwest directions.
Okay.
The way it was described to us, though, we know that Witherding is to the east, just a short distance. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, then let's go east and finish the day heading to Witherding.
Yeah.
Okay.
As we are walking, I nudge Charlie and ask him, "Is this the route that they took you from? They took you up?"
He kind of looks around and says, "They didn't take me on the road, but this is the route to Witherding, yeah."
Okay, good to know. You still hungry?
Show me around.
This is around dinner time, so he's like, "Yeah, I'm a little bit."
I take out some rations and I pass it to him.
Okay. Yeah, munches on them. All right. So it does take you about an hour or so to get up towards Witherding. Let me just change the map. Okay. And as you guys enter in towards Witherding, Charlie actually jumps from the wagon and goes rushing off ahead of you guys towards this building here, and enters into it.
Okay. Is there anything that looks like an inn or somewhere that I don't really care so much about but I do care our accommodations, but I do care about the horses' accommodations. Do we have somewhere that has a stable?
There's nowhere with a stable. There are some like feeding troughs that you can see around. You can see a pig pen next to one of the buildings. So this building here is a pig pen of sorts. This is the closest you would see to an inn. There seems to be a sign just outside of it.
What time? You said it's evening by now.
It's around 6 or 7 p.m.
Okay.
Are there city guards or town guards?
Yeah, as you entered, you saw some guys in some leather armor with a blue emblazoning across one of the shoulders. They were wearing pot helms and carried spears. Seemed to be two of them at the bridge that you crossed, which was just down this way here.
Did we recognize the corpses of the creatures we killed solitaire? Do we know what species they are?
Sinta did. Sinta knows them to be gnolls and kobolds, or a gnoll, kobolds, and a wolf.
Okay. I suggest to the group that we split up. A couple of us perhaps go meet Charlie's dad, and one of us go take care of the wagon and horses, and one of us go to the city guard to talk about what we found. Any objections?
I wanted to go to visit the Charlie's dad.
Okay.
Okay.
That'd be good.
I turned to Charlie and asked, "Do you guys have a library here?"
Charlie's gone.
Oh, damn it!
Like,
You could just ask the guard.
that's true.
I could. I'll do that.
Okay, so you like double back to one of the guards at the bridge that you crossed?
Yeah.
Okay, so you go back and he says, yes, can I help you?
Hi. Well, there's this boy called Charlie Blake. Well, we kind of rescued him from these things, and
I'm not with you, right?
Yeah, and I
No.
start.
He's alone.
And I show him the pictures of the creatures.
Okay. Drawn
So-
over the course of 5 minutes.
Well, he can be very good artist. Anyway, so these are like gnoll. There was a gnoll and 2 kobolds and a wolf. So, I mean, if these are roaming outside, you might want to make sure your kids are safe and increase your patrols in the area.
He kind of like turns towards you and says, we tried to do that. We're a little bit undermanned. We don't exactly have an army here to be patrolling the wilds. But we do tell everybody to take reasonable precautions, but we're not under martial law here. People are free to do what they want.
Then maybe let the kids know.
The parents know. It's the parents' responsibility.
Okay. In any case, do you guys have like a library here?
No, we do not. Afraid town's a little bit too small for a library. You might want to head up to Vril. You might want to find one there.
Well, I just came from there, but looking for new books, new ideas. Do you have a mayor in this town?
Yeah, we do. His name is Mayor Robert Kane. You'll find him in the big building over there, and he points to the building that's next to the mill.
Right. I'm assuming he's a very learned man. So, okay.
He kind of
Thank you very
shrugs.
much. Perhaps not.
Yeah, welcome. Be on guard.
Yeah. Thank you. And I start walking off again.
All right. Okay. So, William, you were going to the mill?
Yes.
Was anyone else going to the mill?
If anyone wants to join me, doesn't seem like it.
Okay, cool. So you head in, and do you want to chap on the door? It's
I think that Charlie's already inside, just now knock on the door.
okay. You see, Charlie runs up to the door and like opens it, and he clearly looks pretty happy. And you look beyond, and you see his father, who's he looks about 30ish, and he has brown hair which is like pulled back, and he's got like a couple of tears in his eyes, like rolling down his face. And he walks up to the door and is like, "Yes, are you William? Charlie's just been telling me about someone like you."
Yeah, that's my name. Good day, sir. Yeah, we were just like on our way and we noticed some smoke and found Charlie locked in a cage and we saved him.
Well, listen, thank you so much. I know it's not much, but some of the time we had started to mobilize and moving out, but we managed to scrape together some gold for you, and he like pushes this towards you in a little satchel.
No, that's okay. I don't need any payment for that.
Well,
I can't take that money from people like you. You need it more than I do.
Well, if nothing else, we make bread here. Perhaps I could supply you with some fresh bread.
Yeah, that would be nice. Thank you. That's good enough.
Okay, so he gives you like 5 like fairly fresh loaves of bread. Smells pretty good.
Just next time, please make sure that Charlie doesn't play outside. It doesn't seem safe now. Like,
yeah, definitely will. I never intended on him being. I've told him countless times not to play across the river and that there's dangerous stuff. And he like looks over towards Charlie and he's like, and Charlie like visibly looks guilty and like looks down at his feet when he's saying this. And then like looks up, and then Duncan, his father, looks up towards you and says, "But I'll make sure to." I'll make sure to be stricter with him in the future. Thank you so much for bringing him back.
yeah, welcome. I think that's all from me, and I will go to the others where like we parked our wagon.
Okay, cool. All right. Aust, Olokian, what are you guys doing?
So I just wanted to quickly take care of our. I wanted to go with Aust to the guards to talk about what we ran into, but I wanted to just quickly take care of our horses and wagon first. So can I book us? I'll approach the inn building and look for lodgings. Do I run into someone who is selling something like that?
Okay. Well, with the it's all part of the inn.
Yeah. Okay. Exactly. That's
so you would need to go in and inquire about.
I'd go into the inn and inquire and ask about the meal for the evening, housing. What would it cost for housing for us, and then for our animals to be taken care of.
Okay. She, the woman who works here, she's a tiefling with a dark purple, like grape-colored skin and sort of brilliant white hair that's braided backwards, and with a sort of pointed tail. As she's standing there with her arms crossed, and she says, "Why, yes, welcome, darling. What can I help you with?"
We're going to be in town for the night, and we're looking for a place to stay and a place to park our wagon and animals. Do you have the facilities for taking care of them?
Well, yes, we absolutely can if you've got the coin to pay for them, yes.
How much are you asking?
How many rooms will you be looking for?
2.
Our standard rate is 4 silvers a night per room, so that would be 8 silvers for that, plus 1 gold for the horse lodging, so 1 gold and 8 silvers for room and taking care of your cargo.
Any discount for saving local children?
Is that your doing?
I don't want to brag, and I only bring this up in the case that I'm not a wealthy man and I wanted our animals taken care of. But we did happen to rescue young Charlie, the miller's son, on our way in.
Roll me a persuasion check.
We are a very charismatic party.
I'm a hugely charismatic person.
Aust, by the way, is just amused by this interaction. He's doesn't particularly care about getting a discount or not.
I give him a
Tall
fucking
tales
nudge
from
in the
tall
ribs.
men, I'm afraid. It's 1 gold and 8 silver for the night.
It was worth a try. I appreciate you humoring me, and I'll pay her 1 gold and 8 silver for this.
Okay.
And set up the What is it? Is it 100 silvers to a gold or 10?
10.
10. Okay. All right.
10's a dime, Electrum's a quarter, and what's smaller?
Well, I'll pay for our room and board, and then and that, I assume that includes food, and then I'll grab Aust and we'll head up to the guards.
Okay.
Cool. You still with us, Xilo? I see your Skype is frozen.
I think maybe the video went a little hazy, but still hear you guys.
You want to cancel your video and then redo it?
Sure.
It's a nice
This
picture. It looks like you're having a good time.
Excellent,
But
boss.
stationary.
Just enjoying that persuasion roll.
Yeah, I mean, so far I've rolled a 1, a 2, and a 3 on everything important today. So
I don't know, man. I think combat is pretty important when you roll that 19.
the hits were good.
This is not a do or a die situation.
That's true.
It's getting a discount on your room.
Yeah, I suppose it's true. All right, Xilo, you know how to do that, right? Go to call.
Yeah, I have already. It doesn't seem to be doing anything.
Stop your
Did you
video
turn off
didn't
your
work
camera?
for.
I have, yes. The video's off.
Okay.
You could
It is
try
back up.
like end the call.
How about rejoining the call then? Would that screw up the overlay?
There is.
Yeah, of course it. Well, it's not an overlay, but it's not. I don't know if it will fuck it up or not. Honestly, it may or may not. It depends if it reassigns them to the same positions or relative same positions. It might not. We could do that.
It'll be a rapid rejoin anyway. Usually it is the same position.
All right.
Like,
So why don't
yeah.
Xilo end call and then we'll invite him back. If one of you
Who's
can
okay?
invite him back, that would be good though, because I would have to open up my contact list to do that, and that would be recorded for me.
You can just join. Like, if you disconnect, you can rejoin the call. You don't
Oh,
need to
do that.
re-invite.
Perfect.
Yeah, you can do it on his own.
All right, here goes.
Oh, it's working again. He turned off his camera and it was working again.
There we
I
go.
didn't-
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay,
Great.
we're good.
Working.
Good. Okay, cool.
All right.
All right, so Aust and I, we saw the guards at the. Is there somewhere that looks like? I guess the main hall maybe. We're looking for something that looks like guard shack, guard, main town hall, wherever they're going to be coordinating this. Somewhere we might find an officer as opposed to just a grunt wandering around.
Well, we could just go to the mayor.
Yeah, that area. That's where I'm thinking too. We'll start there.
So the mayor's in the big city, or the big,
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
So around this point, Sinta would see you guys and probably like hook up again, and for that matter, William probably would as well. Actually,
Okay.
Yeah.
so I mean,
Yeah, sure.
all
We'll
your
grab-
interactions
we'll
probably
pick 'em
take
up
the same amount of time.
You said that this is a trading town. Is there like a marketplace nearby?
Not a marketplace or one that's open just now. I mean, it's the evening, so
No.
maybe it's closed. I mean, there are shops and stuff.
Okay.
But yeah. Okay, cool. So you head into the main building, and on the first floor there's a sort of desk with some papers and stuff on it, with a human woman sitting behind the desk, and then that's to the right, and then off to the left you can see a dwarf wearing a similar looking armor with the blue highlighting on it, who is speaking currently, a dwarf male, who is currently speaking to a halfling female also wearing similar armor. So the halfling is where she has her hair in long braids, and she's like wearing quite an extravagant gold ring on her finger, and the dwarf, he has a shaved head with tight drawn cheeks, and he has a tattoo of a dagger. Oh, Xilo dropped.
Rip Xilo.
Gotta wait for him to come back.
It's like some ground issues.
Don't know. No idea. Oh,
Skype's great like that too.
honestly, in the other group, we have had very, very few problems over the course.
That's surprising.
Recently, we have. I think that's because we changed to being 6 players instead of 5. But
Jesus, 6 is such a busy
Yeah,
party.
6 a lot.
there's very little in the way of like overlap. Like, when someone wants to say something, like they've actually become very, very good at sort of the respecting interactions, and combat's actually become pretty fluid, despite the basically everybody's a spellcaster, and with 2 familiars, I think.
It's a party of 8, huh?
Valamir and Stranger, and yeah, there's probably going to be other, and then they also have like their spiritual weapons and stuff like that are floating about battles and things. It's pretty crowded battlefield sometimes, but it means I can throw really fucking difficult shit at them, so it's good fun.
Well, can one of you maybe type to Xylo in Skype and see what he has to say? Is he coming back? What the deal is? Is he still online, etc.? There he goes. Cool. Hey, welcome back, Xylo. Can you hear us okay?
We don't
We
hear
can't hear you. I think you're muted.
Yes, just fine.
Okay.
Good to go. All right. All right. So sorry. Yeah. So the
All right, so
the
we,
dwarf
I will
and the
wait.
halfling are talking to each other, wearing this similar sort of guard armor.
I'll approach and make our presence known. I'm not gonna like shout out or say anything, but I'm just gonna be kind of in their sight. So if they're busy with something, they'll know that someone. I mean, clearly we're gonna be there, so they're gonna notice us one way or the other, and we'll wait until they acknowledge us.
So the halfling, she's the one facing you, where the dwarf has his back to you, and she kind of like nods towards you, and the dwarf turns around to look at you, and he turns back towards the halfling and says something, and she nods in acknowledgement and walks off. And he turns around and comes forward to speak to you, and he says, "Hi, can I help you?"
Yes, I'm Olokian Malemke. We're just traveling through your town on our way to a further destination. We came across the son of your miller, Charlie, in the captivity of a gnoll and 2 kobolds, and just wanted to report this to you and mention, and just we like to be brought up to date a little bit for the area. Is this something we should be worried about in future travels? We're protecting a cargo, and just wanted to bring this to your attention.
Aye, well, in the wilds there's some amount of wild beasties out there, so you need to be on your guard. Regarding Charlie, it's you've done a service to the man Duncan. He was trying to organise some of our watchers. He kept coming up to us and asking if we were going to head out on an expedition to bring him back, but we keep telling him it's not our responsibility to take care of his children, eh? But it's good that you've saved him the bother of organising some kind of relief operation. It's been a couple of days as far as I hear.
Do they raid your town often?
No, it wasn't a raid on the town. We're pretty well protected in here, but we don't have the men to actually be ranging out any further, so we can't really protect the wilds over the rivers as much.
What do they want with your children? I mean, they've gone to some... say again?
Then can. Some say that they just like to eat them, but I don't know. So Duncan was fearing the worst, but
they had him caged up.
He brought Charlie back.
Charlie said they were waiting on some sort of rendezvous with some other third party. I just struck me as a bit odd. I thought I'd report it to you.
Well, it's appreciated that you said something. I don't know anything about the ways and goings on of kobolds and gnolls, but
can I insight check him? He seems really not giving one shit whatsoever. So I'm kind of surprised.
What's your insight modifier?
It is a 1.
Okay. Do you get this sort of vibe from him that he's not disclosing lots of information from you, but he's not actively lying to you? He's not like hiding information that's super pertinent. He just, he thanks you for that, and
he
say, doesn't.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name.
Craig and Coldstout.
Craig and Coldstout. Well, thank you for your time, and I appreciate your assessment of the situation. And just as I said, we're trying to do our due diligence as members coming through your town. So thank you. And I nod to the group and say, anyone else have anything they wanted to ask this man? And then I prepare to leave.
Cold stout, huh?
Aye.
These beasties, which you call them, didn't seem to be worried about anything. They were just hanging around here for days. You don't send patrols out or anything. You don't care about the security of the town.
How far away was it you encountered them?
Just
About 5
maybe
hours.
about an hour.
No, 5. We traveled 5.
Well,
I'm afraid we don't have the manpower to be ranging out 5 hours away. It's only a token force here. We're trying to increase it, but so far the profits from the trade hasn't quite kicked in yet.
You say so.
Aye, I do say so, and I don't really appreciate the tone either.
I step in and just say, ignore him. You know, fucking nobility. And grab him and pull him out.
That's fine. Aust will back away.
Okay. It seems to be the end of the conversation, so he like turns on his heel, and he has pretty loud boots actually, and he walks off in the same direction as the halfling went.
When Aust and I get outside, I nudge him and say, I mean, he didn't seem very concerned. I don't think we'll find answers here. I don't think we should let this go. This seems a bit strange to me as well, but I don't think we'll find answers from him. And I don't think irritating him is going to help us in finding any solutions.
You're probably right. We do need to investigate, though, for sure. Something's up.
If you like, I could, I mean, this is a bit of a small town, but perhaps in the next one, I could have a look around and see if there's any local denizens who might have some sense of what's going on. It feels weird to me. It strikes me on some level, you know, maybe the training, maybe the upbringing, I'm not sure, but it strikes me on some level that their behavior was just not normal with the kobolds and the gnolls. Like, they shouldn't have been so comfortable staying around for so long, and what would they have been waiting for and looking for that would have mattered? You know, I think it does strike me as something wrong. I'm with you on that.
Well, I would almost assume that they were working for someone, and their actions are based on orders they received from said someone. So
I turn to William and I ask him, I say, William, did Duncan say anything about his child's disappearance that was strange? Was this just, you know, is this just a normal occurrence? I mean, it feels so strange to me that a town would be comfortable with having their children abducted and then
like
be so
doing nothing with
nonchalant
it,
about it. Like, nonchalant about it post-fact.
I didn't ask specifically this, like him, but I can do it, like, again, visit him and ask him more about it, like, why wasn't anything done when his child, like, was disappeared, and, like, why didn't they do anything to, like, try to save him or that sort.
Maybe on our way back. I mean, again, this is... We have a job to do. Let's go get paid. Let's keep our reputation intact with our employers. But it just strikes me as strange.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
Be on our way back.
Sorry, when I was inside with them, that I would have looked around the facility. Would I have seen like was it an armory that we were in?
No, it was a hallway.
It was a hallway.
There were a couple of desks and stuff, and there were a couple of chairs about, but there are no weapons. There are a couple of doors offshooting from it.
Okay.
It was clearly the mayor's place and not a barracks.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
But even being the mayor's place, like, it's difficult to tell. You didn't see a mayor or anything like that. Like, it looked like a town hall.
Gotcha. Okay. I feel like we should just investigate it more on our way back, since we are, even though we have a plenty of extra time, we still are on a timetable.
I bought us rooms at the inn. I figure a little rest after that fight might do us some good, and you know, a little bit nicer surroundings, and then we can get a move on it tomorrow morning, bright and early. Anyone objections?
It's dusk, right? So, like, basically nighttime. Yeah, okay. So there probably wouldn't be anything to do anyways.
Okay.
All right. Well, I'm up for just heading to the inn, eating, and retiring, unless something else picks anyone's fancy.
Well, after the battle, we should get like some rest and like wash our stuff, It's like
Yeah.
nothing else to do, I think.
Okay. So as you enter back into the inn, it seems to be busying up a little bit. Yeah, it seems to be busying up a little bit. There's quite an influx of people who've finished their labors and want to just go in for a couple of drinks. There is a bard playing, and the tiefling flags your attention as you walk in, Olokian.
Okay. I head over and ask her what's going on.
And he says, "Well, with all our guests who come and stay with us, you all get a free drink. What would you like?"
What do you have? What do you have on tap?
We have a selection of ales. We have dwarven ales. We have one from off east. We have, among other things. Would you like one?
Yeah, I would. I'll tell you what. I don't think we hit it off so well earlier, but I would like to say, your establishment seems like a nice establishment. If you would suggest something, I would be happy to try it.
Wonderful, darling.
I would have the
Yes.
most exotic one that
Ignore
you have.
I laugh and say, I'm just kidding. Go ahead. I'm sorry,
And
Sinta, go ahead.
she kind of flicks her tail a little bit and flashes a smile towards you and says, "The most exotic one, you say, darling."
Yes. To learn, I would like to have the most exotic thing that you have.
And for you, my big strong man in armor, what can I get for you?
I would like some classic ale. That will be good for me, thank you. And by the way, guys, I also got some freshly baked bread from the miller for us to eat. So I just share it with others.
Excellent.
And for the dashing one.
I'll have what the half-breed is having.
All right.
Meaning Galgaliel, the half-elf.
And she...
As you say that,
There's
he jumps little.
as you say half-breed, there's a clear look of distaste across her face.
Because she's
Not
also
across
half-breed.
Sinta's face, but across the tiefling's face.
Mm.
And I recoil a little. Yes.
And she goes and gets you the drinks as requested. One of them is a slightly more orange color than the rest of them. She passes that one towards Sinta. Says, "Well, gentlemen, enjoy your drinks."
Oh, could you tell me what this is? Just need to make records and things like that.
It's a surprise, darling. You can note it down as being surprise.
Oh, it's called a surprise, right? A surprise.
I hate to say this, but my metagaming brain is screaming that this is some kind of poison.
I don't say a
but-
word.
But Aust,
Autocorrect, it's still
drinks
okay.
enough.
I have still 1 point in. Well, I need 5 points to cure some poison.
To cure
or disease,
poison,
So
yep.
I need all 5. So no help from me for now.
Well,
Okay.
cheers, gentlemen, to a mission halfway done.
Cheers to that.
Okay. So you guys go and find a table to go and sit down, and you see the bard is up there, a human female. She's actually very good looking, flowing brown hair. She's clearly taking good care of herself. And some of the patrons around the place, you do spot Duncan as well. He's across the way, and he's having a drink, and he's with a couple of other guys, and they're talking pretty deeply about something.
I'm gonna grab my beer and wander over there and join them. If I can, I'll introduce myself. I know
You don't know who Duncan Blake is. You've never met him.
Oh, I thought it's okay. I don't know who Duncan Blake
I
is.
was the only one that know who is.
Yeah.
And I
This
just
is
wanted
amazing
to-
bread, William. Where did you get it from?
As you guys are kind of discussing your bread and ale, there are two guys. One of them is a human. One of them is a half elf. And they walk on over to your table, and they have a basket out in front with some coins in it. And they say to you, "Gentlemen, for the Thunder Tree Restoration Fund." And they hold out the basket.
I put my half a loaf of bread in there.
Do you actually do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
What What's the thunder
Yeah, I
tree?
wanted to also ask what that's fun for.
The human man takes the bread out and just drops it on the floor.
Hey, that's really good bread.
Says, Thunder Tree is a town to the north of here that was destroyed 20 years ago. We are trying to fund its restoration. Unfortunately, bread will not suffice.
I'll still put a gold coin in the basket.
Much appreciated, sir.
Can I do a history check to see if that's true? Like,
That's
I would have read about it. It's 20.
You rolled a 20?
No. I would.
Yeah,
I guess.
roll a history check.
Yep. This is 20 years ago. So.
Okay. Yeah, Thunder Tree was abandoned roughly 20 years ago. There is not so much these days, but there was an active volcano called Mount Iathon, which had erupted relatively close by. And while it didn't destroy the town, there was a lot of ash poured over it. And it was recommended that its residents kind of like move out of the area. And a lot of buildings were destroyed, and no one ever really moved back in that time. And there's clearly some effort to restore.
Could I roll an insight check if he's like not lying to us about it, that they are just like going to use that money for it?
What's your insight mod?
0.
Okay. Yeah, they seem pretty honest. They seem genuine in their desire to restore this town. They don't seem to be lying about
Give
it.
them 1 gold piece.
Okay, cool.
Could you tell me more about Thunder Tree? I only know what I know from the books, and some anecdotal experience would be more than welcome. And I take out the gold coin and I place it on their hand.
One of the human looks towards the half-elf and then back towards you and says, I'm sorry, I don't really know what anecdotal... And then the half-elf kind of like stops in the middle of the conversation and says, well, what exactly would you like to know?
Like what the residents did there? Like, were you residents there?
Yes, we are the descendants of the residents. It has been 20 years. And the human, he looks about 30 years old, so he would have probably been a child when this was evacuated. It says it was a town. We traded with the Gnomish towns to the north. We were also in relatively close proximity to the.
I chime in. I say, "Well, what happened to your town?" Since Galg hasn't shared that with us.
He hasn't shared it. Hang on 1 second. No locations. Paladin. Not pass. Right. And relative proximity to the Arden Oratorium. And then he says, well, the town was evacuated 20 years ago due to a volcano, the nearby Mount Iathon erupting. And we would like to see it restored to its former glory.
I'm sorry, so to clarify, your town was wiped out by a volcano. And the money we're giving you is so you can resettle underneath the volcano where your town was.
The volcano is no longer active. The town itself was not destroyed, but parts of it were, and no one lives there any longer. So,
and when that town was settled before it was destroyed by the volcano, was the volcano active then?
And one kind of looks at the other and says, "I don't know,
but presumably
exactly
not,
the
right?
tree was founded."
Presumably, the town was founded or was enjoying its success pre-volcano, then volcano, and now you want to resettle it.
That is our plan, yes.
I reach into the thing and I pull out 1 gold coin.
Before you do that, he snatches the basket away as you're like reaching up and clearly have no coins in your hand.
And I just respond, I'm trying to help you. I suggest you find a new way of reliving, of revitalizing your legacy. It is. I know I look as young as you, but I've seen some life, and perhaps you have not.
Actually,
Settling
I'm gonna say
under a
you do take the
volcano
gold.
is not what you want to do. Let me save you the
Well,
trouble.
Roll a persuasion check.
I have a lot of charisma. All right, persuasion, you say. Sorry, we're gonna hit a 20 sooner or later. Bam.
Okay. All right. Like as you reach in to take the gold coin, and there is a recoil, but you do manage to take one of the gold coins. And they kind of like look to each other incredulously, and then shuffle off rather hurriedly toward the door.
I wave. I look at Aust with just like sheer like incredulity. I'm just like floored. I'm like, they want to resettle under the volcano. And I'm just like,
Olokian, just give them their happiness and hope.
The humans
Yes,
under
I
the
know.
volcano. It just one generation ago, 40 years ago, it just wiped it. 20 years ago, 20 years ago. You can snap your fingers. 20 years go by. They just fucking settled under a volcano. You want to give them money for this?
William just shakes his head and is like really amazed that Olokian is such a dick to everyone.
Aust is just completely amused by this. he can't find the will to argue against this outburst.
Okay.
I don't like.
So,
bread.
Sinta, you are the one who's looking towards in the direction of the door, and you see a human male. He's young, got a shaved head, and he's got like an average build, wearing the blue leather armor of the watch, and he enters with the two men who just left with a basket, and the two men point towards your table, and the man with the leather armor walks over towards your table with the two men, and the two men speak to him and say, "It was this one here," pointing towards Olokian, and the human man says, "Thievery?
Excuse me, I say?
Thievery. I believe you took some of these men's money. They are trying to collect donations, and you reached into their basket and took without their permission."
Excuse me, sir. I think you've misunderstood. This is my companion, Aust. He is in part my responsibility, and he had mistakenly thrown some of his money away from that. I took exactly what he had thrown away and took that back.
Well, we'll see what the chief has to say about it, but I'm afraid you're going to have to come with me just now.
Okay, and at this point, Aust would say, "Oh, so please, it's not an issue. It was an error on my part. He was retrieving a coin I dropped
Into the basket.
Oh yes, it bounced quite far. My apologies."
Well, I'm afraid we're going to ask if you could also come with us then, please.
I can't do. Can I do persuasion with this?
No, because that was a terrible persuasion thing to say. You dropped your coins into the basket?
A coin was rolling away, and it landed in the basket, and my friend was retrieving it.
I walk up to the human and the half elf, and I take out another gold piece, and I pass it to them and say, "There was a very fascinating story that you shared, and this will definitely go into the library, that I'm from. But for today, could we just forget what just happened? And this is just to make up for what happened."
Roll me a persuasion check.
I'm bad at persuasion.
Just roll high. It's easy.
Nope.
What are you talking about? No, that's a gorgeous
And
three.
the man in the armor turns towards the other two, and they seem dissatisfied.
Okay, so at this point, like William will also like stand and he will apologize for his companions. They seem that they had like a little bit too much to drink and they are making some mistakes, and I'm sorry for them. Will it be sufficient if I give you back that one gold piece that was taken, or it's like, do you want to do something about it more?
Well, Sinta just tried to give 1 gold piece, and they didn't really care for it at that time. So if you're just trying to give them 1 gold by 1 gold by 1 gold, it's persuade them too much.
How about I buy drinks for everyone? You, and you, Mister.
So that's 6 silver.
That's it, One Piece.
And the men say, we're not interested in drinks, we're interested in the restoration of our time, but thank you for your offer regardless. His demeanor seems quite genial towards you, Sintar.
Yeah. Restoration comes not just from money, it also comes from word of mouth. And where I'm from in Varul, I can make sure that your word is spread and that you guys are trying to restore the town.
Roll me a persuasion check.
Oh, I'm so bad at persuasion.
Well, are you intending on doing this, or are you not intending on doing this?
I am trying to get them out of trouble. Yes, I am.
Okay.
But I'm really bad at persuasion. So
it's persuasion then.
Again, tell me why we have no charisma-based characters in this team.
Oh, yep, 9.
And they kind of look towards each other and says, they shrug their shoulders and they just don't seem interested in alcohol.
Gentlemen, isn't there any other way to solve this thing, or it's do we really need to take it to the mayor?
And the human says to the half-elf, perhaps a more sizable donation, and the half-elf looks to the human and says, that sounds sufficient penance to me.
I try to make a gesture for the tiefling that we met. I try to get her attention to bring her over to our table.
Okay. She's serving a couple of customers just now, but after serving, she does make her way over.
And I say to her, please, could you tell this fine officer of the law here that we are paying customers, minding our own business after, passing through this town, potentially helping out one of the members of this town, Duncan's child, Charlie. We just wish to be left alone. We have been solicited in your fine establishment. There are people going table to table begging coin. I'm not sure if you're aware of this. We just wish you to vouch for us that we have not been bothering people, harassing people, etc. But these people here are accusing us of wrongdoing. I say this to her.
The tiefling turns towards the man in leather and says to him, James, my boy, what exactly is going on here? And he turns towards her and says, well, Sophia, they stole from Mark here, and the tiefling then turns back and says, stole from them? And the James turns back and says, yes, from their donation basket for the restoration of Thunder Tree. And says, well, addressing Olokian, says, well, I'm quite aware of Mark and Kyle's presence. They are indeed allowed to go around collecting donations at my behest. And certainly thievery from their basket is not going to warrant any sympathy from me.
I retell the same story I said before. I say my companion erroneously tossed the coin in that direction, and I just retrieved that exact coin from the basket, no more, no less. I no more stole from that than anything else. I just took our misbegotten donation back before we could waste it on someone who wishes to settle in the shade of a volcano.
On top of that 1 gold piece, I take out another 3 gold pieces, and I say, "This is."
Sophia turns back towards you and says, well, perhaps you're not aware, but a lot of the residents of Witherdene are former residents of Thunder Tree. So perhaps not throwing so many insults around here about people who come from there. But regardless, this seems like an issue for the law, not an issue for someone upstanding such as myself. James, as you were, and she walks off.
I turn back to the half elf and the elf and the human, and I take out another 3 gold pieces, and I say, "This is exactly half of everything that I have. So I hope that this will help resolve the situation that we have at hand, and I hope that you'll be amenable to this."
The human and the half elf look towards each other and say, "I guess it's better than. I guess it may have just been a misunderstanding." And the guy in leather just kind of like rolls his eyes a bit and like walks out through the door, and the other 2 also walk out through the door.
Okay. I'm currently at 5 gold pieces.
I'm gonna wait a few moments here, and then I'm gonna follow them out.
Okay, you follow them out.
No, I don't directly wish to follow them. I wish to walk outside the front door of the inn that they left through.
You do that.
Okay. Can I see where they're going?
Yeah.
Where are they going?
Towards the town hall.
I would like to just... It's probably not very busy out, and it's probably fairly dark at this hour. It's in the evening, right?
No, the sun's still up. It's kind of cresting over the mountains.
Okay. I just want to keep an eye on them. I'd like to keep them in visual range. I don't particularly wish to follow them. I'm happy to wander around. I don't know where I can have a pee or just have a cigarette or something. I don't really care. I want to do something relatively casual, but keeping an eye on what they're doing.
There are no cigarettes here, but okay. You're kind of keeping an eye on them. You could like feign going to check in on the horse or something like that.
Yeah, I'll feign going to check in on the horses.
The 3 of them together go into the town hall.
Okay. The town hall being the large building that we had been in earlier when we reported Charlie?
Yep.
Okay. I'll just hang out. I'm kind of curious. Do they come out again, the 2 collectors? So they came in, collected from us, left, went to the town hall to report us, came back, and then went back to the town hall. So they did?
Apparently.
Okay. I'll just hang out.
You don't know they went to the town hall.
Sure.
They came, like they left and they came back with a watcher.
Understood. Okay, I'll just hang out.
I think Aust would fondly place his hand on Sinta's shoulder, appreciating the gesture of giving half of his worldly possessions to get the group out of a jam.
As he touches me, I jerk back again and I shuffle away.
And then I think Aust would probably remind people that although there's almost certainly something fishy going on here, we should investigate it on the way back and not now, before, well, we still have a job to do.
I think we can still do it now because you said that what was his name? Duncan was with us in there, right? Is it still in there?
He's still in there. You guys seem to have attracted quite, like a lot of people have noticed you. Like it's not a, watcher comes in. There's clearly some trouble that's been brewing. A lot of heads have been turned, including Duncan's. And he's kind of like curious because he knows who you are.
So Olokian is like out. I want to sit next to Duncan and others and want to talk with him about like what happened when his son like disappeared and like the town folk didn't like assemble or anything to go look for him.
Okay. He says to you, well, to be honest, I was really in a bit of a panic, and he said he didn't come back at night, so I was a wee bit worried, and he didn't come back to sleep either, so started in the morning. I roused a couple of folks to see if they'd seen it, if anyone had seen him, and no one had, but some of the guards said he had crossed over the river. I asked them why they hadn't bothered stopping him. And he reminded me again that it was my duty to keep an eye on my son, which, to be honest, hands held high. It is my responsibility. He is my son. But a couple of the others were equally worried. Similar things have happened before with some of the kids around here, so just wanted to worry getting back mostly. There was a woman as well who who was offering her services. She's over at the cloister just now, but I've not seen her since yesterday.
May I ask where is his mother?
Well, I'm afraid his mother passed away a couple of years back.
I'm sorry for your loss.
It's been tough living with it, but I'm just glad I've still got wee Charlie with me, you know.
Yeah, I can understand that. But it's still.
I hope you're not getting in too much trouble over there, eh?
Oh, that's just my companions doing unnecessary things. Like, that's fine. We can handle that.
All right. Well, I'll be honoured to buy you all drinks as well. I hope you enjoyed the bread, but I can get you around as well.
I'm up for that. Thank you.
Okay. He stands up and goes and speaks to the tiefling Sophia, and gets you all ales, and then brings them over to your table and sits them. But it doesn't overstay his welcome. He goes back and sits at the table he was at before.
Yeah,
Okay.
That's everything from my part.
Was there anything else you were wanting to do, Olokian?
I just want to wait for a while. I'd like to get a full night's sleep, so I need my 4 hours. But if they, I'll wait until they come out. Until then, so if it comes to the point where I'm not going to get 4 hours of sleep before dawn, I'll go back to bed. But if they come out before, I'd like to know how to wait for them.
Okay, they come out before, and they head back towards the tavern, and they see you outside with the horses. It's about an hour after you went outside.
Okay. They have their collection plate with them too?
Nope.
It's gone. It's inside the town hall.
Presumably.
Okay. That's all I want to know. When I see them, I just walk back inside.
Okay. Anything else you guys are wanting to do?
I'm gonna confer with Aust before I go to bed and just mention to him that behavior. So, and I'm gonna express the suspicion that we've just been fleeced.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's very convenient. They ended up in the same area. The guardsman who was called over for nothing. Everyone supported them, and our money's disappeared, and it stayed inside the mayor's household. It strikes me that we might be being taken advantage of here. And then
Like I said, you have to give the peasants their hope. We'll investigate more on the way back north after we finish our job.
yeah, it'd be unfortunate if something were to happen to someone taking advantage of us on the way back. I'll certainly keep it in mind. Perhaps we could regain what was ours on our way back.
Okay, just few gold pieces. It's like not your whole life. It
I'm
doesn't
sorry, what?
kill you.
No, sorry, I didn't understand your accent, Ricky. Sorry.
I'm sorry. No, I'm just talking to Lokian that it's just few gold pieces. It's like not your life. That's like doesn't kill you to give few of them. It wasn't even all yours. It was like mine and Sinta's.
No, of course. No, I understand. You guys were ripped off as well. I can only imagine what you must be thinking when you're sitting there saying, yes, I've given our gold pieces to them, all of our gold pieces, and they have taken it and stolen it and extorted you for more. And you seem to be taking that very well, and I don't understand the mentality behind it.
I'm just like at the moment thinking who is a bigger dick, you or them.
Well, why do you even ask? The answer is so clearly obvious. And I retire with that. A good night to you both, and contemplate what I've said. And I head into Aust in my room.
Okay. Cool. We'll call the session there, guys. That's been 4 hours, so that's a good amount. You'll receive, if my calculations are correct, 350 experience points.
Ooh. What is level 2? 300?
300. Yeah.
Ooh, the value.
Oh, thank God. We all are actually good at combat now.
So, we can roll HP now. So as I explained, the rule is you roll your HP as standard. If it comes to below the average, you take the average. If it's above, you get to go above.
And the HP you gain is the HP of the class you're gaining, right? If you're multi-classing?
Correct.
So if you're taking
And
levels,
also, this is
wizards, then
important
it's
for hit die
1d6.
as well. If you've got 1 level in fighter and 1 level in wizard, one of your hit die is a d6, one of your hit die is a d10.
10.
Yeah, 10.
So it's 1d10 plus Constitution.
So you can just So, Aust, you take default, presumably.
It's rounded up. Yes.
You're taking 1 level in rogue, yeah.
Yes.
No, the default is actually mentioned in your class section. So if you open rogue, it says hit points at higher levels. It's 1d8 or 5, so you take 5 HP.
Right. Rounded
And
up.
that's
Yeah, okay.
plus Constitution modifier.
Right.
So 5 plus con.
Thank God for that, Sully.
Okay, William, you take the default for Paladin, which is 6, and then plus your Constitution modifier, which is 2, so you take 8 HP extra. Okay?
It's 20 now, max, okay.
Okay, Olokian, you take default for Wizard, which would be
4, right?
4?
Yeah. So I take 4 plus my con, which is 6. Okay.
Yep.
By the way, we're full resting overnight, I assume. So
Yes,
how do we? What are these hit die? Hit die is what we regain over a full rest.
Hit die, 1 hit die can be used to regain hit points after a short rest. Okay? After a short rest, you use 1 hit die to do that, right?
Okay.
You can use as many as you want, it's selective. And after that, you regain hit die on a long rest, but you do not gain all your hit die. You gain half of your hit die.
On long
half
rest.
of your spent. Yeah.
Okay.
So half of your maximum number of hit die on a long rest.
So what happens if we level post this? Then we would sleep and regain that.
You're all at max resources after this long rest.
Okay. All right.
Standard rule of thumb is you always round down. There are some exceptions, but exceptions have it noted, but you always round down.
Okay.
When doing halves and quarters.
Aust doesn't care about the gold that he gave the dude just because he has plenty more. Is the thing.
Okay, so
I only have 10 gold pieces.
How do I do multi-class on the on this sheet?
hang on, I'll try sorting it for you.
Because like when I try to like edit the fighter, it doesn't let me put like at the top where
Okay,
it
so
says
if you-
class and level.
Yeah, so if you go into the cog on the right of your character sheet, should be able to scroll down to where it says second class. It says multi-class options.
Cog on my on the
So it
actual
says
character
core-
sheet or the cog on the Roll20?
Character sheet.
Okay.
Should have 4 tabs: cog, core, bio, spells, and cog.
Yes.
Cog.
Okay.
Under, you should have multi-class options. Should be one of the tables there.
Oh, I see one that says I have a thing that says second class. I can click on that.
So click that, and then change barbarian to wizard.
Got it. Okay.
There you go.
Oh, it says it there. Nice. Awesome. Okay, so we're ending the recording session here. Yes.
Yeah, that's good.
Excellent. All right,
Thank
guys.
you everyone for
awesome.
playing.
Yeah.
That's,
Cheers.
Same time next week.
All right. See you guys soon. Thanks for watching.